Thank you very much. Welcome back to the show. There are a few performers in the music business today who have survived for as many years as our next guest has. For over a decade, the Allman Brothers have provided us with their unique style of Southern rock and roll. Please welcome the main force behind the Allman Brothers, Gregg Allman. Hi there. Welcome back to the show. Gregg Allman is here. Enjoyed your song. Nice of you to be here, sir.
Thank you very much.
I remember there was a time when President Carter was in office that you were, I was led to believe that you guys would get together and sit around his house and so on and so forth. Does that still go on?
No, I haven't seen him. I got some mail from him. I got a letter from him right after our last album came out. It said, congratulations on your new album. No, it's not like he's, one of my neighbors or anything.
Was he what you would call an avid Allman Brothers fan?
Oh, still is. Yeah.
Really? Is he just, I would guess that your typical fan is a little younger, maybe. Somehow.
I don't know. They range from all different ages. I had an old lady an elderly lady come up to me on the plane the other day, and I thought she was a little gray-haired, slow-walking old lady.
Yeah.
And she came up to me. I was sitting down, and she was getting on the plane, and she saw me, and she jumped back real quick, and she says, "Oh, I just love Whipping Post. That's the best song you've ever written." And I thought,
have you had any calls from the Reagan folks?
None that I've accepted, no.
This is, I guess you're on the road a great deal of the time now, and this is the second version of the Allman Brothers. Now, I have a question here. What little traveling that I've done and performing, once you've done it for the evening, it's difficult to go to sleep, because you're full of adrenaline.
That's true.
So, and I know that you don't drink, and how does a person relax after having performed?
Well, see, that's when a lot of the songwriting's done. Like, we get back to the hotel, and a lot of times me and Dickie Betts, or me and Danny Toller, or me and other guys in the band, we'll get together, and that's where most of the songwriting I do takes place after concerts, when you do have the adrenaline.
Yeah.
But it is true, no, I don't drink at all.
And that's
for 1 year.
So, that's a difficult thing to do, though, isn't it, stopping drinking like that?
You just don't bend your arm.
And that's all there is to it? No. It's that simple, eh?
No, no, it's very difficult, as a matter of fact. Depending on your body chemistry, it can be really difficult.
Did you worry about going back out into road circumstances and still not drinking?
Yes, I did. Because it's in my line of work, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, it's everywhere anyway. You can't watch a ball game, without having to tell you about your weekend or what have you.
Yeah.
But I finally what you have to do is just accept the fact that you can't keep going and drinking this stuff, and it's just, you're allergic to it. I mean, it's just not on the menu. And, that's it. You have to absolutely, you can't lie to yourself that much. I mean, you just have to accept the fact that you can't drink.
Quit bending the arm, as you said. Are we ready for another bit of music here from Mr. Allman? What do you want to tell us about this song, Gregg?
Oh, this is the first song I ever wrote and kept.
Okay. And the name of this is?
Melissa.
Terrific. And I guess you... We have to pause here. We'll return with film historians right after this.
Let's all take this opportunity to tuck in our ties. Our next guest has performed at clubs all over Canada and the United States, including the Improv in Los Angeles and also Catch a Rising Star and Stand Up New York here in Manhattan. And now, making his network television debut, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Norm Macdonald. Norm, are you...
Well, thanks. Good to be here. I've been traveling around a lot, watching a lot of the TV, you know, and you've seen these new sports on the TV where they'll try to combine two sports together and make up a new sport. You know, like a guy will run a 100-yard dash and then fish. So I love the TV. You know, I saw a cat food commercial, and I said at the end of it, it said, all natural food for your cat. All natural food. But cat food's made out of horse meat. Yeah, that's the way it works in nature. The cat right above the horse in the food chain. Matter of fact, every time my kitty gets a little cooped up in the apartment, I need to take him down to a racetrack, let him stalk some prey down there. So cute when he comes trotting back with a stallion hanging out of his mouth there, you know. But I love the TV, you know, anything at all. The only thing I don't like, you ever see it when there's a celebrity that you really respect and admire, and then he shows up on some cheap TV show, you know? Last week I was watching the Hollywood Squares, and a secret square, J.D. Salinger. But I like game shows. That's my favorite thing, you know, big prizes and everything. You ever see The Dating Game? You ever see that show? That's a weird show there. The prize on that show, another contestant. Talk about cheap. And they always do the same thing on that show. They get a beautiful girl, match her up with 3 giant dorks. Last week they had a guy on. It was a crazy guy. Loony bin, psycho, wingnut. You can tell by the way they introduce him. They go, bachelor number 2 is a shadowy lurking character whose hobbies include skulking. Please welcome from no fixed address. He's just a guy. Menacing figure shambles into the studio there, you know. And then they make the girl ask those questions, you know, laced with sexual innuendo. You know, girl go, bachelor number 2, if I were a popsicle, what would you do to me then if I were a popsicle? That's what it says in the card here. And the guy goes, well, if you're a popsicle, huh? Well, first of all, I guess I'd take your wrapper off. If you know what I mean. And then I'd grab a hold of your sticks. If you know what I mean. And then I'd press you against the counter till you're broken too. Put happy in the freezer till later. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm getting at? It's crazy. But a lot of violence on TV. You know, kids aren't supposed to watch violence now on the TV. They're afraid maybe the kids will copy what they see on the screen, you know. I can't even get a funny cartoon anymore because some 12-year-old watched a particularly violent episode of the Roadrunner Coyote Show. And the next day they found him in the bottom of a canyon. Like 2 giant springs strapped to his feet. A big couple of springs. Had a little umbrella in his hand. Sign said, yikes. But there's violence everywhere. You know, I was reading in a paper, this guy, if you can believe this, a guy killed his family because the devil told him to. Can you believe that? Imagine that, killing your family, and then you go back to the devil, you go, yes, devil, I did as you instructed. I killed my family, and I chopped them up and put them in a duffel bag. Here they are. I'll be burying them tonight at the shallow grave by the side of the railroad track, as you have commanded, O Lord host of the hoary netherworld. Then the devil pulls off a mask. It's me, Bob! You go, oh, Bob! got me, Bob. You got me there. I got my family in a duffel bag over here. That's one for you there, Bob. This dirty dog. Yeah. So I had this dream today. You ever have a dream, and then you wake up right in the middle of a great dream, and then you're back in your stinking life again? So then you try to fall asleep, re-dream it? Man, that never works. Always end up with some weird mutation of your original dream there, you know? Like in the first dream, I was in a pool with Christy Brinkley, and we were swimming toward each other, and then I woke up. So I fell asleep again. I end up shooting pool with David Brinkley. You guys are doing great. Thanks very much.
Our next guest made his television debut on our program last year, and from tomorrow through Sunday, you can see this man working on stage at the Comedy Zone in Charlotte, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, a very funny man, Norm Macdonald. Norm!
Thank you. Well, it's good to be here. I'm trying to become a better person now. You ever try to do that? I gave some money to a homeless guy there on the street today, and this is kind of odd. He had a dog with him. You ever see this? Homeless guy, he's got a dog. He doesn't have a home, you know, but he's got a dog, and you know the dog's thrilled with this deal, you know. Dog's going, hey, pal, I can do this by myself pretty well, you know. Like the longest walk in the world to the dog, you know. I'm trying to become a better person. I'm trying not to lie as much as I used to, you know. You ever lie for no reason, you know? Usually there's a purpose to your lies, but sometimes, you know, just a big lie will spill out of your evil head there. You know, you don't even know why, you know, like, a guy will come up to you and go, hey, you ever see that movie with Meryl Streep and the horse? Then you go, yes. Then in the back of your head, you go, what the hell am I lying about over here? I stand to gain nothing by this lie. The hell am I thinking back here in my head? But I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to quit smoking, you know. That's a tough thing, boy. I smoked ever since I was a kid, you know. I always remember one time I was a little kid. I was about 9 years old, and I was sneaking a cigarette behind my garage, and my dad caught me. I'll never forget it. He hauled me in. I thought I was in for the strapping of my life, you know. What he did is he pulled out his big cigar. Must have been half the size of my arm, his giant cigar. Stuck it in my mouth, lit it up, made me smoke it all the way through, right to the end. And that's when I started smoking cigars real heavy. So that didn't work out there. Plan backfired on him. But my doctor, he's trying to talk me out of smoking. He showed me a picture, a smoker's lung. Oh! It was gross and disgusting. I think he showed me pictures of a healthy guy's lung. Oh! It was gross and disgusting. Also, as well. So, turns out lungs are gross and disgusting, and that's why they put them on the inside. You don't have to look at them all the time. You know, put them under your jacket there, so you don't have to see them. But I'm trying to get in shape, you know, work out and stuff like that, you know. I'm not in good shape. I used to be in good shape when I was young. You know, that's when I looked good. I was in my peak physical condition back when I was 1. That's when I looked good, man. I can show you pictures of me when I was 1. You wouldn't know me now. You know, I even look good for my age. People will come up to me and go, what are you, 0? And I go, no, I'm 1. And they go, man, you don't look a day past 0. I'm not kidding you there. You look 0 to me. I go, well, I'm 1. But I got to start working out, you know. I haven't worked out for ever. I never worked out. But I got to start, you know, because I like watching guys, you know, bodybuilding contests. I saw this bodybuilding competition the other day, the Mr. World competition, you know. So the guy wins it. He's the best in the world. He's Mr. World. So at the end, they say, don't miss next month, the Mr. Universe contest. I don't know about you guys, but I'm putting my money on Mr. World on this one. You know, I figure he's a shoo-in with his home planet advantage and everything. This guy, you know, he's Mr. World there. You know, he's not a ham sandwich. But, I don't know. You see a lot of them sports on the TV, you know. Saw cliff diving. There's a weird sport, huh? Guy diving off a cliff, you know? And it's an odd sport. There's no way of telling who's a better cliff diver, you know? Like, if you survive it all, you know, you're a great cliff diver there, you know? There's only two categories in cliff diving, guy was telling me. There's grand champion and then stuff on a rock. It's a tough sport to make a comeback in, I'll tell you that right now. Hey, you guys have been great. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Okay, Norm, nice job. Very funny.
Thank you, sir.
And whatever you do, don't touch the microphone. Yeah. My thanks to Neil Patrick Harris as well, and of course Art Donovan. We'll see you folks tomorrow night. Good night, everybody. Hey, welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I've been doing this for about 12 years, and that's the first time a guest has slapped me.
Yeah.
No, Richard Simmons.
Right.
No, but that wasn't on the show. So that doesn't count.
Ooh, well.
Our next guest this evening made his network television debut with us on our old show. Now he is in his first year as a featured performer on Saturday Night Live. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the very funny Norm Macdonald. Norm! Hey, Norm!
Thanks, good to be here. I feel a little gross today, you know. I had some of them fish sticks. You ever have them? And they don't tell you on a package how many you're supposed to eat. So I had 40. So I'm feeling kind of gross or something, you know. I had a good holiday, though. A lot of Christmas presents, you know, a lot of good stuff there, you know. A lot of bad gifts, too. One guy gave me a lottery ticket. You ever get that as a gift? Man, that stinks, huh? What the hell? Guy thinking giving you that, you know? Go, here you go. Nothing. Merry Christmas. Nothing. You know, unless it wins, then it's something. But let's face it, you know, a guy give you a lottery ticket, you know, he don't want it to win. That's the last thing he wants there, you know. It's a nightmare that'd be, you know. Imagine that, you know, you get a call a week after Christmas there. Hey, Bill, what's happening? Yeah, I remember that ticket I gave you. 14 million bucks, huh? Good for you, Bill. Listen, what did you get me again? I can't remember. I know I got you the 14 million bucks, but I can't remember now. Oh, yeah, it was a cup. Yes, I am enjoying it. Sure, I had a coffee out of it there and some tea, you know, and I'm hoping maybe soup or, I mean, the world's greatest fisherman, it said on it, didn't it? Some big smiling fish on it. Listen, Bill, I guess no chance that cup skyrocketing in value in the next couple of days, huh? All right, I gotta go now, Bill. I gotta go rip my throat out with a screwdriver. But I had a good holiday there, man. I had a lot of fun, you know, and I watched a lot of TV, you know. I enjoy watching that. I watched Beavis and the Butthead. Do you like that show? That was a good show. I like Beavis, but I especially like the Butthead. And Star Search, you ever watch that show? That's my favorite show, you know. Especially the junior dance category. That's my favorite, you know. And Ed McMahon always introduces them there, you know. Hot property! You know, they come out and they're dancing. Too cute for you! You know, and you don't even see junior dancers anywhere else. You know, that's the only show that you ever see them, you know. You know, it's never like you go, hey, honey, what do you want to do tonight? Maybe catch a movie, get a beer or something down at the bar, or, hey, I know, what about that new club down there where they got the 6-year-olds dancing? Maybe we could go down there. I understand Hot Property's going to be there tonight, you know. I've never seen them live. I've only seen them on TV. But I love Stars. They always name their groups like that in Star Search, too, right? Hot Property and The Next Big Thing and stuff like that, you know? As if that helps, you know? It's always like, and now, this next band has been kicking around the Boca Raton area for the last 16 years. Now, America, say hello to Overnight Success! Then it always looks bad when they lose, you know? It's always, well, another tough decision for the judges. Our challengers, Overnight Success, receive 1.25 stars. And where do they get the judges on that show? Do you ever see the judges on Star Search? You know, they always kind of got those lame credentials there, you know, kind of suspicious, you know? So I was like, and now it's time to meet our judges. The president of Tri-Media Artists. He represents such stars as Meadowlark Lemon. Okay, thanks a lot, folks. There you go.
Thank you, Norm. Very funny. Yes, sir. Hot property. Norm, very funny.
Thanks very
Good to
much.
have you with us, and please come back anytime. It was great fun. Very, very funny stuff. My thanks to Terry Bradshaw and the hunky Jason Priestley. We'll see you tomorrow night, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Good night, everybody. Our next guest is currently in the #1 motion picture in the country called Billy Madison. He is also on Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Norm Macdonald. Norm.
Thank you. Well, I'm feeling good. I'm a little tired. You know, I started working out today. I've been kind of putting it off. But I'm trying to get in shape. You know, I'm not in good shape. And I used to be back when I was young. You know, that's when I was in, oh, my God. Oh, back then? Oh, my God. I was in my peak physical condition back when I was like 1. That's when I looked good. Should have seen me back then. Holy God. You wouldn't know me now if you see me back when I was 1. I even look good for my age. People come up to me and go, what, are you 0? What? And I go, no, I'm 1. And they go, man, you don't look a day past 0. I'm not kidding you there. And I go, well, thanks, but no, I'm 1. So, I tell you, though, man, I'm trying to be a better person. You know, I'm trying not to lie as much as I used to. I used to lie all the time for some reason. And, you know, now I'm trying not to, you know, because, you know, sometimes there's a reason for your lies. You know, like you want to protect somebody's feelings or, you know, screw over your buddy Larry or something like that. But do you ever just lie for no reason at all, folks? You know, just all of a sudden, a big lie will spill out of your evil head there. And you don't even know why, you know, like, you know, a guy will come up and go, hey, you ever see that movie with Meryl Streep and the horse? And then you go, yes. And then in the back of your head, you go, what the hell am I lying about over here? I stand to gain nothing by this lie. What the hell am I thinking back here in my head? But I'm having a good time. Bought a dog the other day. Man, I tell you, go to this dog store. These things are expensive, huh? These dogs, can you believe it? I had no idea. Guy tries to sell me this dog, $600, you know, pit bull, you know, $600 dog. And, you know, I don't want to buy a big $600 dog. I was looking to pay, you know, $1, something like that. $2, I don't know. My ceiling was $2, and this guy's talking 600. So the guy says, you want to buy? He says, this is a pit bull. This will protect your valuables. You know? And I don't have a lot of valuable things there, folks. I don't own a lot, you know. I mean, I buy the pit bull. That would be the most valuable thing I own. You know, I'd have to buy something to protect it, you know. I'd be out shopping for Wolverines, you know. I'd be down at the Wolverine store the next day. But I don't want a pit bull. That's a crazy dog, man. Just rip your throat out, that dog, you know? You don't want a dog like that. I don't even know where that dog came from either. When I was a kid, there weren't any pit bulls. And then, how the hell does that happen? Just dogs show up like that. What the hell is that? It's like crazy. It's insane. But I never buy a dog. When I'm buying my dogs, you know, I always think to myself, I go, hey, if this dog were to go berserk, you know, would I be able to take him? You know, I think that to myself. I got one of them wiener dogs, you know, that's a nice dog. I could beat the hell out of him if I wanted to, you know? I don't want to brag, but, you know, I don't have any problem with that. Because a wiener dog could never, like, jump up and rip your throat out. That can't happen. You know? You'd have to be lying down. That'd be the only way he could have a chance. You know? You'd have to be sleeping, like you're lying down and sleep. And then maybe the wiener dog sneak up late at night, starts nibbling at your throat there, you know? And then, you know, maybe by daybreak he's got a hold of a vein, he's pulling out a vein, you know? And you wake up and go, oh, get away from me, a wiener dog. What the hell are you doing there? What do you think you are, a pit bull or something? You're not. You're nothing but a wiener dog. That's all you ever will be. I don't know. But, no, I love my wiener dog. The worst they can give you, maybe you get a hickey. That's about all you can get, you know? That's embarrassing, folks. You ever have a hickey? Oh, my Lord, huh? Walking down the street there, you got an embarrassing hickey. You got to try to, and people see you in the street, you know, they go, hey, you got a wiener dog over there, huh? You know? And then you go, ah. But I don't know. I love my dog. I buy him. So you ever buy a gift for your dog? Feel like a jackass, no? You're going out buying a... I got him one of them bones. I thought he wanted like one of them rubber bones, you know? I thought that's a good gift for a dog, you know? And I give it to my dog, and the dog's like, oh, great, it's a bone. Ah, yeah, it's not. A million laughs. It's that's a good one. It's not a bone at all, huh? So, I don't know. My grandmother, she's all excited I got a wiener dog. She knitted him a sweater. That's the kind of, you know, I feel sorry for her, you know, knitting a dog's a sweater. But she sent me this sweater, and I don't want to make the dog wear it, you know. It's humiliating for the dog, you know. Wear a sweater. It's ridiculous, you know. And then I figure, what happens like the dog gets lost, you know? He's wearing a sweater. What the hell? That's got to be here in New York, you know. them's mean streets if you're a, wiener dog in a cardigan. They don't, you don't last too long. Hey, thanks a lot, folks. You've been great.
Our next guest is a very funny person. He is the anchor of the Weekend Update on the very popular television program Saturday Night Live. Do me a favor, folks. Please welcome him back to the program. Here's Norm Macdonald. Norm! You know, up in the office earlier this afternoon, we were looking at some videotape of your work on Weekend Update. Very, very funny. You do a great job.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, very amusing stuff.
Thanks, man.
How did you get your start in? I know you originally was a stand-up comedian, but how did that begin?
Well, I was in Canada, and then, so a lot of, we don't do much show business in Canada, and then they called me from the States to do the show, Star Search?
Star Search, yeah, Ed McMahon, the Star Search.
Ed McMahon.
Yeah.
And so it was the international Star Search. It was a special Star Search.
Because you're Canadian.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
So I was in that, and then I lost. It was horrible.
Oh.
I got the lowest score ever.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what they told me. And so I was up against guys that were much more international. Like there was one guy, he was from Africa, and he had like a big robe and a hat, and then another guy from Australia, and he had a hat too, and then I just had like a jag and a little tie.
Yeah, you needed the hat, sure.
I didn't have a hat. So, and plus all my stuff wasn't funny. That didn't help.
No, that's no. All the hats in the world won't help that.
So I went on. It was really humiliating.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And nobody laughed. Even Ed didn't laugh. I knew I was doing bad.
Ed McMahon wasn't laughing?
That's what he does for a living.
Yeah, more or less, sure.
So, he was taking some time off while I was out there. And he was just glaring at me there. And but he was a good guy. He always makes it dramatic, tries to make it dramatic.
Yeah. It's a big moment.
Yeah,
sure.
So even if it's, everybody knew I was going to lose. But you have to go out with the other guy and with the guys with the hats, and I knew I was going to lose. And then, he goes like, another tough decision for the judges. And that was the only time I heard laughter when I was on stage. He said, all right, yeah, Canadian champion Norm Macdonald receives 3/4 of a star.
That's not good.
No.
That's not good at all.
I figured it out later that to get 3/4 of a star, 3 guys had to give me 1 star, and then 1 guy gave me none.
It's terrible.
I worked it
Well,
out.
you've persevered and succeeded in spite of that. One of the nice things when you do a weekly variety show like Saturday Night Live, and you have a different guest host each week, you get to meet a lot of really exciting, famous show business luminaries.
Yeah. I don't know a lot of them, though. They're like famous, like they're kind of famous, like hot guys. The guys that are hot,
Sure, yeah.
they're hot
Yeah.
at the time, and I don't follow it that much. And I don't know, unless it's like the Fonz or something. I don't know that many famous guys. And so everybody around the office, they're excited.
It's a buzz.
Yeah, they go, hey, Norm, man, you wouldn't believe who's here this week. You're not going to believe it. And then I go, what was it, the Fonz? And they go, no, it's that guy, Courtney Johnson from the L.A. Detective Story show, And I go, yeah, he's good too, And then I don't follow it. But you can't. You got to be nice.
Sure, you have to. Because they're a guest in your home, more or less.
And they are big stars, And so I got to meet with them, and I just pretend. I pretend to know. I go, yeah, you're good on the show. You're my favorite with the with the gun, you know, and then I don't know what to try. I'm trying my best.
Well, again, you do a nice job. I hope you have a nice summer. Do you have plans for the summer?
I'm going to hang out with my wife and kid. You
Oh,
know,
that'll be good. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Norm, thank you very much for being here tonight.
Thanks
Have
a
a great
lot.
holiday weekend. Good to see you. Norm MacDonald. We'll be back with Elastica. Welcome back to the big broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. I want to tell you that Mia Farrow is something very, very appealing about her.
She's the greatest.
And a fine actress, and you think about the life that she's led. It's an amazing story, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Terrific.
I'm very fond of her. Yeah, very nice woman. Lives in Connecticut. You know, I live in Connecticut.
You do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You live near her?
Huh?
You live near her?
I don't know. She wouldn't say.
Ah.
Did you notice she kept that vague kind of, she says, oh, yeah, in Connecticut. And then she says, you live up there, too.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe one day we'll bump into each other.
Right.
Exit 40 on I-95. Well, look, there's Mia Farrow and 18 kids. That's
Could be.
nice.
Could be.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to tell you that our next guest is the very funny anchorman of the Weekend Update on the wildly successful and popular television program Saturday Night Live. When is that show on, Paul?
It's a Saturday night.
Saturday night
Yeah,
it is?
yeah.
When do they film the show?
Well,
do you
they
know?
don't film it.
They don't film it?
It's live.
Oh, it's live.
Yeah, it's a
so
live
they do
show.
They do it on Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live, yeah.
So we're seeing it as they're doing
It's
it.
live on Saturday night.
I'll be damned. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice welcome for Mr. Norm MacDonald. Norm, come on up. Yes, sirree. Attaboy, Norm. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Very good.
Nice to see you. You know, I think the world of your work. I think you're very, very funny, man, and I like the little weekend update thing you do
like
there.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they involve you in the what do they call those, skits? Every now and then you get to be in a skit.
Sketches.
Do you like being in the skits?
I can't act, but, you
Yeah.
know, whenever they need a guy to answer a door or something.
Well, you're damn good at it, Norm. Don't sell yourself short. And you're getting to be kind of a like a celebrity, like a big deal, aren't you?
Yeah, kind of marginally. I did a celebrity golf tournament.
Is that fun?
It's all right, you know, but it didn't work out very well.
Why not?
Well, the thing is, the idea is you go and there's 3 regular guys, and then there's the celebrity.
Yeah.
You know?
So it'd be like a guy from the Rotary Club, a guy from the bank, a guy
Yeah,
from the Kiwanis
yeah.
Club, and you playing
Right.
a foursome.
And so I showed up there, and there were 3 guys there. My tee time was like 10:15, and so one of the guys, he says to me, we were just standing there, and the guy says to me, he says, hey, I wonder who our celebrity is.
That's no good.
So you don't want to, you know, it's hard to identify yourself as a celebrity
Sure,
to others,
yeah.
you know. And so I said it was me, and we golfed. I spent the whole first 9 holes trying to explain who I was to the guy. And plus, there were other guys. They were like celebrity spotting. They were like envious of all the others. So then I was like, "Hey, Scully Mitchell, look at that over there," you know. Or there's Chachi. I was even doing it, you know. And
It's kind of a thrill for you as well.
it
Then.
was pretty cool to see these guys. And plus, it doesn't help that I'm no good at golf. I stink at golf.
Not
so,
very good.
You know, not only, you know, I'm in the woods all the time trying to find my ball, and they're on the fairway going, "Hey, where the hell's that guy? We don't know who he is," you know.
It sounds like a fun outing, though, all in all.
Yeah, that was fun.
Now, when you go out, generally, I would guess, though, the people usually know who you are when you're walking around New York City, especially. You get recognized all the time.
A little bit. Sometimes, a lot of times I get like, hey, you're that guy from Saturday Night Live. And then I go, yeah. And then they go, that show sucks.
No, see, that's not good. That's no good.
And then I go, yes, thank you very much. Sometimes, a lot of times, because I'm not famous, but one guy will recognize me, and everybody else won't. So it'll just make a big, hey, and then everyone looks at me, what? And then I go, I'm the guy from the TV. But I want to get famous, you know. That's my big goal.
Really? To
Not
be famous?
enough so that I can't walk down the street,
Right.
you know, like you know, where your life is life is hell, but I want to... I'd like to get famous enough so that if I had, if I ever had like, problems with my liver or something, I could get another one quick. That kind of...
You want to go to the top of the list?
Yeah.
How is your liver? Everything all right there?
Everything. No,
okay, good.
Everything's
good.
fine
Knock
with
on
my
wood.
liver.
Thank
But
God.
if I get famous enough, I'm going to hit the booze.
Yeah. And it's nice to know that you have that as kind of an insurance policy. Yeah. But I know you, in addition to the television work, you've done films. You've worked in movies. You've been in a couple of films, haven't you?
One.
Yeah. Do you like that kind of work?
Yeah, I'm not a good actor, but I was called Billy Madison. Was my buddy Adam Sandler put me in the movie?
Yeah, I remember the film.
Because
sure.
I had nothing to do that summer.
Needed a guy to answer the door.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun, but it was in the heat, and at one point I passed out.
No.
Yeah, I was supposed to be lying on a lawn chair. That was my big scene, and. They tell you to do something funny, and so I was lying on the lawn chair, and all of a sudden it was like so hot out. I got later they told me sunstroke, and then I passed
Boom.
out.
You're out.
And then they chucked a bunch of ice on me, and I woke up, and they were very concerned because I guess if a guy dies on a movie, it's not good.
No. No.
Especially a guy that they didn't even like in the movie in the first place.
Puts a real damper on those ticket sales.
Yeah.
So you're all right, though. It wasn't your liver.
Yeah.
No, okay.
No, it wasn't my liver.
Yeah. You're Canadian, right?
Yeah, I'm from Canada.
Yeah, where about in Canada?
Quebec City.
Quebec City.
Yeah, you know that?
Yeah. Now, are they removing themselves from the rest of the province in the country?
Yeah, they're going to be leaving.
They really?
Yeah.
Did that vote go through? Wasn't that a referendum or something in Canada?
Yeah, they're French.
Yeah, I understand.
So we don't really care.
Oh, you don't care? Well, if you don't care, what the hell? I tell you what let's do. Let's you and me, right after the show, get ourselves cleaned up real nice, and we'll go out to dinner with Mia Farrow.
Oh, man, she is the most
Isn't she
beautiful
great?
girl I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. And a fine actress. Have you seen her act recently?
You know what I saw was Alice. I loved Alice.
Yeah.
God, that was a great movie.
All right. Norm, let's see, is the show, are you doing a show this weekend?
Yeah,
Who's the big
Gabriel
host?
Byrne's in it.
Yeah, Gabriel Byrne, fine actor.
He's great.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
famous. He
yeah.
can get a liver like that.
There you go. Norm MacDonald, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Thanks for that. We got to do another commercial, and we'll continue here with George Clooney. Come on back.
I'm thankful because there's a new word in the English language, and this year I get to OJ the turkey.
I'm thankful for my wonderful new baby boy, who is a pure joy and is currently dating Cher.
And here's to the king of late night, The Tonight Show. The #1 late night show on television is better than ever, weeknights.
Hi, welcome back to the show here. We're just sitting around chatting with Mr. and Mrs. America. And this is John Waters, the motion picture director, producer, and divine. John, have you ever felt the need to do anything that was of great social relevance?
No, I haven't at all, because I think being socially redeeming is so very boring. You know, I'm just trying to make people laugh. That's the only reason I ever pick up a movie camera.
Yeah, and your folks, how do they feel about it? You were described as being the Prince of Sleaze.
No, I think the Prince of Puke, a lot of different... I think it sort of sums it up. My mother, there was an editorial in the Sun paper in Baltimore where I lived that said the Prince of Puke, a favorable one. She said, somehow when you were a child, it wasn't what we had in mind, that you would grow up to be the Prince of Puke. I think they like it better than me being in prison or something, you know?
Well, I guess these are your folks here. Is that
Yeah.
John? Yeah. That looks like Warden June Cleaver there.
They'll be thrilled.
Tell us about the odorama.
Well, odorama is it's the film that you can really smell. And when you come into the theater, you get these cards, and when a number appears on the screen and starts flashing, you scratch and sniff that number. Would you like to try one?
No, I don't.
I can give you a good one first.
No, that's all right. But that's, I guess, part of the fun of being there. Well, this has been a pleasure for me. You both seem like very nice individuals, and I want to wish you continued good luck in your career, Divine and John Waters. The movie is Polyester. Tab Hunter is in it also.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Stay right there if you will. I'm going to see something exciting. Now that it's spring all over most of North America, hi there. Good evening and welcome to our show, and a fine program we have indeed for you. My first guest, John Waters, will be here in a moment. Quentin Crisp, Mark Schiff, and many, many more surprises. And not a minute too soon. My first guest tonight has been dubbed the Prince of Sleaze. He is a director, a writer. His films include Female Trouble, Multiple Maniacs, Pink Flamingos, and Polyester. His latest effort is a book entitled Shock Value, which he describes as a tasteful book about bad taste. Please welcome John Waters.
John, how are you? Nice to see you again, sir.
I found the book very entertaining, by the way. You lead certainly an interesting life. Do you take pride in this whole notion of bad taste? Is that a sense of accomplishment for you?
Well, I think bad taste is humor to me. I mean, to me, bad taste is what entertainment is all about.
And for example, what would be something that falls under that description?
Well, something recently that's pleased me because, well, the movie Summer Lovers I really love because it's about being young, rich, stupid, and nude. So I thought that was a good movie I've seen lately.
Is there such a thing as bad taste that is actually acceptable, or as you say, good bad taste?
Well, there's good bad taste and bad bad taste, yeah. I mean, I think movies like Beyond the Valley of the Dolls is good bad taste, and then a movie like The Greek Tycoon was bad taste because it was about Jackie Kennedy, but they didn't even show her going shopping, you know. So I mean,
that would have been the ultimate bad taste.
Sort of
for
a
you.
disappointment.
Yeah. Now, how do you describe the movies that you have produced heretofore?
Well, Celluloid Atrocities sort of sums it up.
Yeah. And what is your reaction? Do you like getting bad reviews from critics, or do you like getting good reviews from critics?
Well, it depends. Sometimes we get bad reviews that I like. But I much prefer a good review, of course, like any filmmaker. But I think Rex Reed once gave us the best bad review. He said, "Where do these people come from? Where do they go when the sun goes down? Isn't there a law or something?" That helped the movie, I think. Yeah.
Now, this was referring to the wonderful cast of folks that you seem to work with over and over again.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to take a look at the examples of this for people who have not been fortunate enough to see some of your work. You know what we've compiled here, don't you, John?
Yeah, I think we're going to see A Normal Christmas, my idea of A Normal Christmas from Female Trouble, Divine being raped by a lobster in Multiple Maniacs, Edie playing a retarded grandmother that worships eggs in Pink Flamingos, and a 400-pound killer maid in Desperate Living.
Okay, now we're going to take a look at this now, and then we'll come back and discuss this. So watch closely. The monitors here in the studio and at home. Use your TVs.
Dawn, come see what Santa brought you.
I better get them cha-cha heels.
You're not my parents. I hate you. I hate the now. I hate Christmas. I'm a maniac. Oh, a maniac that cannot be cured. How was that Eggman today?
Oh, Beth, he's going to come to the party as my date. And Cotton bought me so many eggs today.
Oh.
Look at these. So many little eggies. And I'm still starving. And I'm going to eat them all before I go to sleepy.
Thirsty, Griselda?
You'd better go see about your wife. She's having another mental fit.
I thought you had been stealing my liquor.
Who are these people? We'll find out when we come back with John Waters. Just joining us, all hell broke loose in the band a minute ago, and John Waters is here. And now, tell me, what sort of a child were you? What kind of movies were you influenced by?
Well, I had a pretty happy childhood. My favorite movie was The Wizard of Oz, but I wanted to rooted for the witch because I couldn't understand why Dorothy would want to go back to a dreary farm with that ugly dog when she could live with a woman with green skin and winged monkeys and everything, you know. So, but I always rooted for her the most. But as a kid, I was happiest. I used to get my mother to take me to junkyards and look at car accidents. That was one of my favorite things to do, too.
You liked looking at wrecked cars?
Yeah, and the junkyard man would look at my mother and think, what are you, crazy lady? And she was just kind of embarrassed, and I would wander around and imagine the horror that had happened, you know. But my mother was nice enough to take me there.
Yeah.
Some mothers wouldn't have, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. What about sports? Were you involved in sports as a kid?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I know you're a sports fan. I'm a sports bigot, and I think that some people have to stick up for people that don't like sports, because if you don't like it, it's jammed down your throats all the time. I mean, I'll get in a cab in Baltimore, and the cab driver will say, how about them birds, presuming I gather the Baltimore Orioles. But I think that is as ludicrous. If I got in a cab and said, wasn't Fassbinder's movie great? You know, I mean, it's that ridiculous. Just because I'm a man does not mean that I love sports. I mean, like basketball. Men the same height as those rather unattractive macrame baskets, putting balls in a big deal. That makes people jump out of their hands and, you know, applaud. I don't get it.
Now, we saw, I think, everybody that you use on a regular basis in those little
pretty much,
clips of the
except Mink
film.
Stoll. I don't think she was in them. She's been in all of them.
Yeah. Now, most of those people come from Baltimore, or you found them in your native town of Baltimore. Tell me about Baltimore. Is that a special pocket of...
Well, I've had people come visit me in Baltimore and say, boy, your films weren't exaggerations. People in Baltimore has a great tolerance for eccentrics, I think. And I look for people that in real life would have what most people would think was a disadvantage, but take that and turn it into their style. And I like to use heavy people a lot, because, you know, they take up a lot of room on the set. You can save money with props and stuff.
Also, in the book, you refer to Baltimore as the hairdo capital of the world?
Yeah, you still see a lot of beehives there, which I think is a great look, really. I wish it would come back.
Now, more there than in other parts of the country, you think?
Oh, definitely, definitely. You can walk down the street, and it's fun to stand behind hairdos when you see the sunlight, and you can look through the web. Now you mentioned you save money on props and so forth. What would polyester? How much? That cost $300,000, which to me was like the budget of Cleopatra. I mean, Pink Flamingos cost $10,000.
That was not your. That was not your first.
I had
it was
about 5 before that, but that was the first one that got the most play.
Now, what happened if suddenly you found yourself with a very lucrative showbiz Hollywood contract that said $20 million, you can do anything you want? What would we see from you?
Well,
then?
you'd see 5 movies, first of all, because even $4 million apiece would be incredible for me. You know, I'd get my dream cast, which would be the people I work with all the time, but then maybe other people, like 3 generations, a grandmother played by maybe Anita Ekberg, now that she's put on some weight, I hear. And the daughter, maybe Joey Heatherton, and her daughter, Pia Zadora. I think would be a good combination, you know? But see, everybody jokes about Pia Zadora, but I really do like her. I think I could make an audience laugh with her and not at her.
Well, that's good luck, I guess. We're going to pause. We are coming back, and John Waters will be here when we return, and so will I, as it turns out.
Hello, I'm Larry Bud Melman with another one of my 5 reasons why you should ride a Melman bus. Reason number 2. Reason number 2, privacy. We're required by law to limit the number of passengers to 65. That means that at no time will you be sharing a seat with more than 2 people. That means you can sit back, relax, and be by yourself, or be with lots of people, depending how you want to look at it. Only at Melman.
Welcome back to the show. John Waters is here. Mark Schiff is going to join us later, and also Quentin Crisp, and all kinds, I guess, prizes. Everybody gets a prize tonight. Now, tell me about, now these films are not exactly Disney motion pictures, well, but they're real in the sense that they go all over the world, right?
Oh, yeah, they play all over the world, yeah.
And you make a lot of dough doing this.
Well, I don't have a helicopter waiting outside for me, but I am a thousandaire.
Oh, congratulations. Now, what kind of mail does this sort of work bring you?
Oddly enough, I got more weird mail from the book than I did from the movie. I guess that's because when you have a book, you can take it home with you. But the weirdest thing I ever got, somebody dug up the lawn of mass murderer John Gacy and mailed it to me. I guess that was the weirdest. But the nicest I got was from a young kid, 15, who said...
Excuse me a second, but does that mean the person likes you?
Yes.
They do.
Yeah, so it was... Actually, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was, beat junk mail.
Yeah.
The nicest letter I think I got was from a 15-year-old kid that said that, first of all, the teachers kept taking my book away from him in school, but that he made the same kind of movies I did, but he said, how come they call you so great and I get sent to the school psychiatrist, you know? Yeah. And then he ended it with, Mr. Waters, one day I will inherit your pukedom, which I thought that was nice, though. You know?
You enjoyed that also? Yeah. Now, that's interesting because you seem like a reasonable, intelligent young man, and now how do your parents respond?
Well, my parents have gotten used to it, I think, but what kind of films you make? I mean, do you expect Alfred Hitchcock to kill people in showers?
No.
No, it's the same thing. I mean, I am not my films. Those are what I think is funny, and I'm lucky enough that there's enough people in the world that have the same warped sense of humor I have to make me make a living.
Now, what would be, you're going to continue making films. Can you tell us what the next project is about?
I'm writing 2 right now, 2 films. One sort of like my old one, and another one going... whatever commercial is, who knows, the #1 film last week was Friday the 13th, where people kill each other, so that's mass appeal now. You shouldn't go see the movie, you should stand in the line, that's much scarier.
It's a very peculiar account of your life, nonetheless entertaining. It's called Shock Value, and thank you, sir, for being with us.
David.
Last time you were here with Divine.
Yes, wasn't she lovely?
Oh, she was. John Waters, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John. Now, regular viewers of this program have watched my dog, Bob,